We are the New York Knicks.
Hey.
We are the New York Knicks.
Hey.
All right.
Welcome back to the 352 Sports Talk. I'm here with Omar, Jamari, Obed, and of course, the main guy, producer Orlando Miranda, the RN.
Yes, sir.
My boy waiting on that first patient.
Yes, sir.
But welcome to our, what is this?
1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary of doing this podcast. It's been a long year.
Yeah, a lot of things change.
Yeah.
A lot of things change. On and off the camera. Shit crazy.
Yeah. Big
The
1
main
year.
thing is, Seabass is the only consistent one. He shows up once every 3 months.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I'm mad Greg couldn't be here, man.
Yeah. Greg been busy.
Yeah, Greg deserves.
Getting some money. But yeah, like you said, he deserves to be here for that anniversary.
Yeah, Greg, he's been working as supervisor at the University of Florida Southwest Rec Center.
Yes, sir.
He's doing all that. And then over the past year, he got out the Army. So he's been here steady at Santa Fe College. Jamari.
Hey, we out here, man.
Hey, no, tell him about this shit. No.
Man, we everybody knows soon enough. Everybody knows soon enough.
All right.
Follow my Twitter. You'll know.
Follow his Twitter. Yeah, he got a lot of followers on Twitter, man.
Yeah, I see that.
This nigga got coverage, bro.
Something like, man. It ain't no.
And what about you? What hasn't changed for you in the last year?
Shit, I'm almost done with the damn degree. That's the only thing that matters right now, bro.
Facts. Yeah, I graduated in May, just been working old man shit. And then behind the camera, Orlando got his he's a registered nurse now.
Yes,
He passed his exams. And already started working on the job here in Gainesville.
Yes, sir. Making big moves, man. 352 Sports Talk, man. Big moves.
The price is going up.
Exactly. The price of the brick is going up.
Enough.
We can start with the fight because I think on the last episode we all made our predictions for the fight. I'm pretty sure we were all wrong except for you, right? I think you might have just said, "Fuck it, I'll go with Fury," just because. I guess we can start with the fight. I mean, if you didn't see the memes, you were under a rock. I mean, we all saw what happens. Fury went in there and did his damn job. I mean, he did what he said he was gonna do. He delivered, and he hurt Wilder badly in that third round. He just never recovered, and it went on for 4 more rounds. But it was a sad 4 rounds to watch. And eventually, Wilder's corner threw in the towel and said, end it, because I mean, it was obvious that Wilder wasn't going to make any strides to improve, and he wasn't getting any better per round. He was just taking a beating. So at that point, you got to make a decision as a corner, like, is it really worth the last 5 rounds, or do we want to just conserve as much of his health as we can? Wilder's still young, man. He still has a lot of years left in him. I say he'll be a champion again. I just think he got to generational talent in Fury. Fury proved that he's one of a kind. He's here to stay. And I'll be the first to admit I was wrong about Fury. Like, I thought Fury was a big gimmick fighter at first. I was like, okay, yeah, it's a 6'9", fat-looking dude that's moving like Muhammad Ali. And then everybody's like, oh, I just thought he was a gimmick fighter, Gypsy King, all that. But he did what he came to do. I think the next matchup that we're all going to see is Fury-Joshua.
Nigga finna get whooped, too.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua's about to get
All
robbed.
right.
In my opinion.
Bro, he got... Bro.
He
All right,
got
all right, we can get to that. Let me tell you. So, I was not surprised. Well, I was leaning towards Fury because I thought Fury was a better boxer than Wilder. I definitely saw that in the first fight, and I thought it would continue this fight. I thought Fury would win. I didn't think he would win the way he did. I thought it'd definitely be like he'd just outbox him, as in he did the first fight, but he wouldn't get knocked down this time, and he'd win by points, like a 7-5 split or something like that. Per round. So I thought he was gonna go the distance, but Fury would dominate. But he obviously dominated shit since the first round. And it just comes down to, I think Fury and his camp knew his game plan and they perfected it, and they came in and it was awesome. And then I was just very, very disappointed in Wilder's camp. One, coming in almost 20 pounds higher than he did the first fight, and 2, I mean, there was like no game plan to his boxing. He didn't throw any jabs.
Well, Go ahead.
Okay, he started off
Yeah, I'll let
the
you.
first minute.
I'll let you finish.
The first minute and a half, he started throwing these weak jabs, but then after that, Fury was just too
trying
big.
to land that. He was just trying to land that right.
I think everything was too much on, like Ed said, the right hand, and he was just sitting back too long for it, and then he just got oversized.
I think Fury just
better
took him out of the
stamina.
comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality of it is, Fury just has better hands in terms of quickness.
And
He moves his body differently, and he hits from weird angles from being 6'9". So
yeah.
And then he wore him down after that third round. He got knocked down. Equilibrium went out. I mean, when that happens and you bust your eardrum, I mean,
You're done.
also, like, you saw him just stumble at the end of that third round,
Yep.
going to his corner. I mean, I knew it was over at that point. And then after that, he was just pretty much just manhandled.
Yeah.
Fury put all his weight on him. I'm surprised he even lasted 7 rounds. But, I mean, honestly, the best thing was for his camp. And you could definitely tell somebody who doesn't know anything about boxing or is a fighter when they comment on, I want to go out on my shield. Like, of course, Wilder wants to go on the shield. He wants to go out like a man or whatever. But the reality of the fact is his camp did what was best for him.
Yeah.
Because the way he was looking, like, he could add serious damage.
Yeah.
Like, Wilder, I mean, Fury catches him one more time. Like, he could be, like, career
Altering.
Yeah, career altering. Definitely will still fight, but he won't be fighting at that level. And that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is like pile on what Obed said. I mean, I've been watching boxing for a long time, and you can just tell when fighter, like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a game plan until they get hit. And in the third round, the game plan for Wilder's camp was you have superhuman strength in your right hand. You can put down anybody. You put down 41 of the last 42 opponents you had in front of you, and that's been your bread and butter. Who are we to tell you? And that's another thing. Certain camps, I mean, you just can't get in the fighter's head. Like, who are they to tell you what you've been doing the last however many years of your life that's been working every time? Who are they to tell you not to do it? And that's the difference between an average camp and an above average camp. You can tell he had a game plan, and in that third round when he got his eardrum ruptured, I mean, all that went out the window. Like you said, technically they were tied in jabs. Going into the third, I want to say they were tied in jabs.
But you could
But
tell
yeah,
which one
it was Wilder. Yeah. I mean, Wilder's jabs were okay, body jab, trying to get this. He was really feeling out. They didn't really do anything, especially the Fury's big old gut. That's not doing anything to him. Whereas Fury's jabs are, he's stalking him. He's hitting him. He's making him move out of the way. He's catching him when he's not,
not even.
He doesn't have his guard up.
He hits him and then pushes him backwards every time.
Yeah, every single time. And that's the thing. Another
Which
thing.
Which is different than a lot of normal jabs, because really you usually get your most contact on the snapback.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he was just throwing a pause on him and going forward.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of amazing how he was just pushing him back. Like, I was like, dude, I never seen him on
the ropes. And that's the thing. Deontay Wilder, that's another thing. Deontay Wilder has always been the aggressor in every fight he's been in. And that's the thing that Fury did wrong. He said it in the press conference. If Fury did wrong in the first round, Fury was letting Wilder just push him around the ring the whole fight. Even in the Ortiz fight, going into the 6th round, even though Ortiz was landing more than Wilder, they were giving the rounds to Wilder because he was the aggressor. He was pushing the pace, and he was pushing Ortiz back every time. And Wilder has never really, in his experience, had to fight off his back foot and had to play defensive boxing. And that's what Fury did to him. Pushed him down the whole fight, made him fight off his back foot, and we saw what happened. I mean, he looked out of his element, he looked scared, and he eventually got knocked out. Like I said, I feel like Wilder will be a champion again. I think the next matchups we're going to see is Wilder Ruiz. We're going to see Wilder Ruiz. You asked me, Wilder's going to smash Ruiz. And we're going to see Fury Joshua. I have Joshua. These guys, obviously, they don't.
But listen, back to the Wilder fight real quick. Another thing that pissed me off was Wilder's camp did nothing for his injuries. It's hard to do anything to the ear, but his jaw, his lips, I just think it was really poor. Mm-hmm. If you watch the Fury fight prior to this one, he got headbutted or something, elbow or something that was different, and he was literally cut wide open. Mm-hmm. And his camp through 12 rounds came in, put it back together. I mean, there was that point in that fight where had it been any other fighter, they would have called it because he had literal skin hanging.
Yeah.
But his camp somehow kept it together. And I didn't see any of that from Wilder. And I think that, I don't think that changes anything. It's just kind of upsetting to see because it just puts him in a worse situation.
Yeah.
But going on to these fights, I don't see Anthony Joshua. Prior to this fight, I don't think Anthony Joshua could beat Wilder or Fury. I mean, it's a boxing. Anything can happen. It's one punch. But I didn't really think, and Anthony Joshua didn't. I don't think he even believed in himself. That's why he didn't want to fight him. I mean, he's been ongoing for 3 years. Anthony Joshua's been at the top, but only in his side of the world. He didn't want to fight Fury. He didn't want to fight who was it? Wilder. And he ended up fighting Ruiz, right? Got rocked. Like I said, Ruiz should have never won that fight, but it's boxing.
That's crazy.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think Anthony Joshua he didn't want none of that. Like the way Wilder was going, bro. Like I think he would have knocked his ass straight down. And the way Fury fights, I think Fury is gonna outbox him. He's still bigger than him. Yeah. And bro, the guy's crazy. You never seen a 270-pound man run and hustle the way he has, and he's proven it over 12 rounds. Yeah. So to me, it's like you said, bro. I think he's definitely a generational talent. And reality of it is more than talent is he wants it more. Yeah. This man 6-7 years ago looked like
he was 400 pounds.
He looked like a blob.
Yeah. 400
and
pounds.
Look what he's done now, and I don't think that shit's ever gonna stop.
I think he put Klitschko out of relevance. Like
ever since Klitschko had his reign. Klitschko was at the end of his reign. So
it was to be fair, but like
ever since then, you haven't heard from him.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with boxing too. That's gonna go into my. Go ahead.
And did Joshua, when he fought Ruiz, was that a title fight?
Yeah. Ruiz had a title.
Yeah, he got the.
No. But did he have another title? Because I know at some point it was he had to fight Wilder or not. Wilder or then he relinquished at some point something.
I can't remember. I get all caught up. I usually just keep with WBC.
Because he had something in there. I know they had to relinquish it if he didn't fight.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of championships.
Yeah, but
it's mainly a money thing, honestly. To me, I think Joshua's camp was basically in his ear, like, okay, you could just stay in UK, stack up your paper, get whatever fights that come to you. You don't have to travel. Like I said, stack up your money, or you could go to America, fight these dudes at the top of the world, potentially lose or take some major damage, and now you're not as good of a fighter because it only takes one knockout for a fighter to never be the same. Yep. So he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna stack up my money, and then eventually we'll get to it when we get to it. But which now?
Right. Well, so you don't think Wilder is gonna do his rematch clause?
No, Fury, no, not right away. I think Fury's gonna fight.
He has 30 days to decide though.
No,
I don't think he'll do it.
So he's not gonna fight again?
No, he's not gonna fight Fury right away. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Get some time off.
Because right now it's not the moneymaker. Nobody wants to see that third time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he wants the championship back.
Obviously. That's a pride.
But I think.
But do you think that he would lose relevance if he doesn't fight now? If he starts fighting other fighters?
Nah, he'll be fine. Because Wilder fight, like you said, fights Ruiz, knocks him out in 30 seconds. He's back to the top of the Twitter trending. Everybody's watching the clip, and everybody's like, okay, well now we want to see him versus the winner of Fury Joshua. And if he loses, I mean, then you're just
fucked. He's done, right?
Yeah. Right. So, but this is a guarantee. I don't know. The only way he doesn't fight is if his camp tells him you're not gonna win.
Right.
Like that's the only thing that would tell me, and it's better for your health to not fight this guy again.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I mean, I understand it and I respect it, but I honestly think I wouldn't be surprised if he. I mean,
maybe he does.
Dude, it's a damn championship.
Right.
Like.
You want that belt back?
You want that belt back, dog. Like, that's why I think he can. He has, like said, till the end of pretty much next month.
I don't know, but after that I would think about it twice.
Yeah,
he got his ass whooped 7 rounds.
Back to my point on why I feel like Joshua will take that fight. Why?
Well, he has to.
No, I'm saying why he's gonna win.
To Fury?
Yeah. Here's why. Here's my argument, right? Obviously, it's hard to argue against Fury right now. But Joshua, in the first Ruiz fight, it came out after he lost that 5 days before that fight, he had gotten concussed in training camp. So it made sense to why when he got in there, he looked so different. And then eventually he got hit by Ruiz, and he was just like, okay, I'm not about to do this. And he quit. But then after that, they said that he went back into training camp after the fight, demanded his rematch, whatever got it, was back in training camp every single day, came back to that fight the healthiest he's ever been, and looked like a completely different animal. That right. Joshua and that second Ruiz fight comes out against Fury, against anybody, that's a hard dude to beat.
Bro, I don't even think, this is the thing, I think Ruiz got relevance off that shit. I don't think, like, Ruiz was literally, like you said, everything Joshua was fighting were all placement.
Ruiz was a layup before Fury.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only reason Ruiz even has relevance is because he won that fight.
Yeah.
Right? So, I think Ruiz is also overhyped. Like, okay, he fought him again and definitely outbeat him. Great. But I don't think Anthony Joshua has really fought anybody worth, like even to the level of Wilder or Tyson Fury. And the way Tyson Fury is right now, like, I think Anthony Joshua I don't know if he'll get knocked out. But I think he'll get bullied.
Definitely outboxed.
Bro, because I don't think Anthony Joshua is definitely not going to put, and the thing is, even if he did put Tyson Fury on Tyson Fury's heels, Tyson Fury can fight like that. He's fought, that's how he fought. He fought like that up until he realized, all right, this is how I need to beat this guy, this particular person. This is how I need to beat this particular person. So these last 2 fights, he's been the aggressor. But he knows how to fight. He knows how to do everything. And the dude to me is just so weird that I don't see nobody beating him in the next year or two.
We'll see. Like I said, we'll see.
And I hope Anthony Joshua comes. I hope I get to see his ass in the canvas too. Cause I don't like Anthony Joshua. I think he's a hoe.
Really?
I think when you've been ducking for so many years, I don't care if it's about the money. I don't care, blah 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 blah. Floyd Mayweather, you can say he ducked a lot of people, but he still fought in, year in and year out, he fought the best competitors. I don't think I've not seen Anthony Joshua fight the best competitors. So, I don't know. I get it. It's about the money, and they're gonna stand on. I want to fight in my home turf. Cool. Now you get Fury, who's from that side of the country.
Yep.
Or side of that world. Sorry.
Yep.
So wait, hold up. So who won the first one? Ruiz and
Joshua.
Ruiz.
And the second time?
The second time
Yeah.
Ruiz got destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joshua.
Which is what I thought should have happened. I don't think Ruiz even stand a chance. But yeah.
I mean, he beat Klitschko. Joshua. He beat Klitschko. He beat Molina. He beat Brazil. He beat Dylan White, Dylan White is next up now. I want to say he beat all these dudes.
Who, Ruiz?
Klitschko was already
Anthony Joshua.
just washed.
I mean, this was 2017.
Yeah,
so at that point, he was 64-4. Eric Molina was 25-3. Brazil was undefeated when he beat him. Charles Martin was undefeated when Joshua beat him. Dylan White was undefeated when Joshua beat him. Cornish was undefeated. I mean, he got some real bodies on his record. Before that, it was some bums. I mean, Michael Sprott ass, Jason Cavern ass. But that was early on in his career. And all these guys are TKO knockouts. Like, he doesn't have a decision.
But I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean,
Joshua fight.
Like I said, it's the next big money
I wouldn't
fight.
be. The thing is, if I saw the Joshua fight, I don't think it would be surprised. And if it doesn't happen, then if it doesn't happen, and it's 100% going to be on Joshua.
Oh yeah, I mean, because Fury's been calling out Joshua for years.
Fury's been calling out everybody.
Yeah,
and he's been seeing everybody. That's why I fuck with Fury. Like, Fury is probably one of the most humble, cool dudes. Like, honestly, to be honest, like, let's get into like the racial, social media world.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly kind of sucked that Tyson Fury is white.
Yeah,
because like everyone, I mean, not everyone, but everyone. Primarily is going to be rooting for Wilder and Fury, and then Fury's from different countries, so it kind of brings in that like, oh, that white man's a black man. Yeah. But the reality of it is, and this is how I felt about both of them. This is why I felt bad for Wilder, because Wilder's a really cool dude, and he's humble and he's honest. Like, yeah, he says,
you just sell a fight.
Exactly. You got to sell the fight. But the reality of it is, I think the two dudes really do love each other, and it was kind of like sad to see how bad Wilder got beat.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not punks. And right now, until Anthony Joshua sees somebody like Wilder or Fury, to me, he's a punk.
Yeah.
Because he's been dodging it for way too long.
I feel you. No, definitely.
It's starting to get to the point where like, all right, bro.
That's why this fight is Fury fight is gonna be like I said, I saw on Twitter, it's gonna be $250 million fight easy.
Oh, for sure.
Easy. So and they're talking about they're trying to set that up for the year's over, because I mean Fury didn't take that much punishment and Joshua hasn't fought in about a year now.
Well,
so.
they definitely could do it.
Yeah, like I can see it like a November matchup between the two, and that, like I said, it's gonna be a big matchup. Like I said, I got Joshua. I'm saying it now, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fury did the same thing he did to Deontay. Like I said, but Joshua's a much more well-rounded fighter than Deontay is. I mean, Deontay's a glass cannon. He's got all the power, but if he can't land that punch, then he's not gonna really do much else. But moving on from that, I guess we could backtrack to All-Star Weekend.
I was gonna say, now that we're on boxing,
Mm-hmm.
you guys got a favorite boxer, or is it
Of all time or now?
Favorite boxer of all
Yeah,
time?
favorite
Nah,
boxer
nah.
of all time. Or that you
Nah.
experienced, that you got.
I mean,
the
I
chance
got
to
a
see.
list. I mean,
Yeah, you got-
Felix. That's my favorite guy.
I mean, I'll probably go with Pac-Man. That shit was exciting for his run.
you love them short niggas.
Bro, it's just thing.
I know.
It's different.
I got a
now.
list.
Honestly,
I got a list,
I think the
yeah.
heavyweight sucked up until of recent time.
Really?
Like true heavyweight, the heavyweight division kind of sucked up until these last 2
I
years.
mean, yeah, it's just been a bunch of
Tyson
just
got
heavy
old.
sluggers that get
Yeah.
tired after 4 rounds.
Up until these last 2 years, I think it sucked.
Yeah.
But now I don't know. There's just so many different. Well, not so many different, but there's, DAZN and,
Yeah.
and ESPN. And
Mhm.
that's the one thing I hate about boxing is the politics and the money. It dictates too much and it splits this division, or not this division, but this company and this company.
belt, this promotion.
And this
yeah.
exactly, so we can't mix until blah 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 blah, and that's why to me, I could care less for it, as much. I don't follow it as much as I would UFC because that shit you gonna get fighter A in its prime, fighter B in its prime, and if not, give me your belt and give me your money because you're not fighting.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it is.
Yeah.
That's why I like UFC more. The way it's set up, boxing is a different art, but I think now the heavyweight has been more exciting in boxing. But I don't really know too many boxers. Pretty much, I don't really follow too many people outside of Miguel Cotto and then
Yeah, that's my
Pacquiao. Once they kind of stopped,
Cotto.
and once I seen Pacquiao, I think Pacquiao get robbed too many times. Like
I never
Think
really
so?
followed
Who
Cole.
you get robbed by?
Bradley.
Yeah.
He. What do you mean? No.
Nah,
Did you
bro.
watch the fight?
Yes.
In the stats?
Yes.
How did
You
Bradley?
got that's gonna be a whole different argument.
No,
But
bro. How? No. You gotta have to tell me how Bradley won that fight.
Wait, Bradley versus who?
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao.
Bradley won. Bradley Pacquiao won.
They fought twice though, right?
3 times.
3 times.
few times. If you look at
And
the
out
round
of 2 fights, he got
breakdown,
dominated. Go ahead.
if you look at the round breakdown,
Okay.
back then, and I'd have to go back and look at it, but at the time, this is what I remember. You look at the round breakdown. You look at the rounds that the judges gave Bradley, the rounds that judges
The
gave Matt.
second or third fight?
First fight.
First fight.
Because Pacquiao beat him 2 and 3. Should have been 3 and 3, but
If you look at the rounds, obviously the rounds that Manny won, he won by a landslide, right? But the rounds that they gave Bradley, you could definitely see an argument for why Bradley would win that round.
bro, at best Bradley would have got a tie, bro. Bradley did not even touch Pacquiao. Like Pacquiao looked like he didn't fight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he didn't get hurt. Like that's what I'm saying.
But
But you
like-
have to break down by round. That's why I feel like sometimes people get caught up in like momentum. So yeah, Pacquiao go on a 4-round run where it's like, okay, yeah, this dude is.
But it
whooping
wasn't
his
4
ass.
rounds, bro. It was
Obviously,
the
but
whole
I'm just
fight
saying.
though. He was Pacquiao had dominated the whole fight, and the only reason Bradley, and it comes down to politics. This is why I hate decisions. When it comes down to decision, this is why I don't watch. I will never pay for boxing. Amongst other things, this fight was the reason I would never pay for boxing ever again. Is because if it comes down to decision, what's going to be attractive? We don't see Manny Pacquiao already. Manny Pacquiao is getting older. We don't see him beat people, blah, 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 blah. But what's attractive? Bradley. Bradley's a new up-and-comer. He's really young. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, I get what you're saying about the round splits, but did you see the scores? It wasn't even close.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what I know. It's
Yeah.
like, come on now. Like, it
I
was
know,
so,
like, yeah,
it was literally like,
You want the stats?
the breakdown.
Bro,
All right, so
3 knockouts, bro.
Yeah.
3 of them
Mhm.
in the third fight.
What? Oh.
Crazy, bro.
No, he's watching highlights
Yeah,
from
the
the
highlights, yeah.
Pacquiao Bradley 3. But
Oh.
okay.
But I mean, like, it was, a percentage of 34 to 19. And there was not a chance. Like, I think Bradley's, and I remember this vividly because this shit pissed me off so much. This is why I can remember vividly. Bradley had tagged Pacquiao. Like, for Bradley, he was like, I got this man. I hit him hard. And Pacquiao just turned his cheek and started smiling.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, oh, yeah, this fight is over.
Right.
Like, there's no way they're going to give this to Bradley. And the fact that the scores were so unbalanced to, like,
Yeah.
where I could see that argument if it was like that. But it was not even like that. It was, like, so unbalanced. And then the Joe Horn fight.
Yeah, no, that one.
That one was, I mean, come on, bro. That was like ESPN's, we're bringing back boxing for free back like the old days.
Yeah.
They're going to fight in Australia. And this man's got Joe Horn fucking leaking everywhere. And Joe Horn won off a landslide.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what?
Crazy, bro.
And the crazy thing is, like, if Manny Pacquiao was like a shitty dude, he probably would finish Joe Horn. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the Margarita fight. He busted Margarita and he said, only reason I ain't knock him out is because his family was here. He said that after the press conference. because Margarita just came back from a 2-year suspension or whatever it was
Fuck Margarita.
for having
that
cement.
Bro,
Cement.
he ruined Miguel Cotto's like career.
Yeah, he did, bro.
He fucked Miguel Cotto up like big time. But back to my like favorite fighters. Came up on Marciano, Roy Jones Jr. Obviously George Foreman, love him. Then around like 9-10, Zab Judah, I was real big on him. Bernard Hopkins, I was real big on him.
Hopkins.
I followed Bernard Hopkins and Zab Judah, big, heavy. Obviously Mayweather Jr. the whole life until like a couple years ago. I was big on Canelo, and then Mayweather embarrassed him. Then that's
another one.
That was like 8 years ago.
That's another one I still can't.
You don't like Canelo?
Bro, because I thought Golovkin won the first fight too. You feel me?
You think so?
Dude, I mean, Canelo didn't do nothing. He fought like Floyd.
Yeah.
He played defense, great. But Golovkin was still touching him, and he wasn't touching Golovkin. So, and again, I could see the argument if it was close. But when you look at the points, it's like, bro, what the hell? They didn't watch the fight. Like, there's no way they watched the fight.
Yeah.
When you see a 118 to 112, or
118 to, yeah.
112, right?
Right, I think something like that.
So it was like a crazy split where it's like, there's no way.
Right.
There, and so again,
That's the thing with
and
judges,
that's the
though.
golden boy. That golden boy money is different.
And that's the thing, though. That's the thing with judges, though. And anytime, and that's why you like in any combat sport, they say never leave it to the judges because like
I
you said,
agree.
they always sway because
What I
sway,
mean-
and all judges look for different things. There's no unified set of rules for real. Like there should be, but there's no unified set of rules. Like you have to judge it based on this, this, and this. Like judges always look at their different things when they're judging a fight.
But the thing is, and it gives more validation to like how I felt about the fight is when you see like professionals who cover the sport are okay. We want to see what the judges saw, but it's evident they didn't watch them.
Yeah.
Like and this is why, and I agree. You never leave it to the judges, and I knew that kind of fight that was coming with it. If Triple G had left it to the judges, it was gonna go Canelo's way every time. And that's how I felt about that. And Triple G is actually one of my favorite fighters I've ever seen fight.
You think so? Yeah.
Because that man was on his route, like, bro.
Yeah.
I never seen somebody like that. That big, that strong, that quick.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking on that, I guess, because I brought up judging, John Jones versus Reyes, we can talk about that, Anthony, because we all watched that together.
Oh, the John Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
UFC.
I love the whole
Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that fight was great.
I thought
Real controversial decision.
I thought the other one, dude.
I never really asked you what you thought on
No,
the fight.
I mean, I knew John Jones was gonna win if it went down to it, because, and I think it comes down to momentum. So like,
Reputation and stuff too.
well, but it came down to me from momentum because. However, there was an argument, and I definitely could see how the dude won the first three rounds. Reyes.
Yeah.
How Reyes did win the first 3 rounds, and that's a very, very strong argument. The way John Jones won the last 2 rounds there was a gap. So Reyes won the first 3 rounds, I think so rounds 2 and 3 barely, right? He definitely round 1 convincingly. He round 2 and 3 barely, and 3 was in the middle, and then John Jones definitely won round 4 and 5, no questions asked.
Right.
There was none of that. And again, UFC comes down to like the judges, like what they see, and he's a champion. He has a champion favoritism or whatever. Like you have to prove that you beat the champion, basically.
Right.
Like you have to show it. The one thing I did not like about that fight is that they valued, I feel, way too much on John Jones' takedowns. However, he did take him down. He didn't do anything with it. I get it takes down energy, but if the player's not hurt, or he literally did no moves. He brought him down, got back up. He didn't have to fight or struggle. They literally fell down, got back up. His defense was really good. And I just think it comes down to the name, John Jones, and the last 4 and 5 being convincingly John Jones.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you look at the way, I've watched the fight a few more times, the way John Jones fights, and the thing is, he has so much experience, and that's why I like John Jones so much, because he's been fighting. He's the youngest UFC champion ever. He's been fighting for so long now, and he's just now hitting the middle of his prime. And he has so much experience with UFC judges and refs and knowing how to win a fight, that the only way I feel like to really beat John Jones is to knock him out. knock him out, or just like how you said in the first round where Reyes came out just guns blazing, like you have to do that for 5 rounds straight to beat John Jones on the scorecards, because just the way he fights, he's not gonna let you pressure him for too long. He's not gonna let you take him down to the ground and dominate him. Exactly.
Too long and too strong.
And he's gonna keep on playing it. He's gonna stick to his game plan, play his distance, and always land. He's always gonna land because this is how the nature of his game.
So this is a Floyd Mayweather UFC.
Pretty much. I mean, he kind of not like in terms of dominance. I can see what he's saying in terms of dominance, but like
in terms of dominance, yeah. Right. Floyd was a businessman before a boxer, and then he was a boxer before a fighter. So he understood boxing. He understood how reps work, and he was fantastic, best defense ever.
Yeah.
Was he appealing to watch? To me, after he reached that point of, all right, I'm done proving myself. Yeah. And now it's just, how am I going to get the money? How can I work up the fights? At that point, I could care less for Floyd Mayweather because he was a great boxer, but not a great fighter. There's a difference, in my opinion. So, again, when he was young, he was proving himself, and he was tagging people on top of his defense. I mean, that was amazing. Yeah, but once you once you got to the point of, all right, how am I going to get the most money and when pay-per-view and the scheduling of boxing, just the way the boxing works, to me, like I could care less for the way he fought outside of his defense. His defense was obviously spectacular to watch, but in terms of a total fight, I could care less for Floyd Mayweather was fighting, because one, he caught again after he reached that point, because he don't prove himself. Once he reached that point, he just stopped fighting fighters in their prime, and he caught them either before or on their tail end. Yeah. Like the Pacquiao fight, if he would have fought him 3 years before that, and he did what he did to Pacquiao, I give it to him. But
the thing with the Pacquiao fight though is like that whole argument is it wasn't really Floyd Mayweather's fault. Like I can see with Canelo and Mosley and all them, but with Pacquiao,
the thing I'm not faulting him for it. I just don't think that he ever fought outside of when, like I said, when he was proving himself. He never fought really anybody that was like in UFC. This is what, and then again, it's not really Floyd. It's the sport of boxing and the politics and where the money is. Because in UFC, you think Floyd gets away with half that shit? No, Floyd's fighting Pacquiao now.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, because Floyd wanted to fight Pacquiao because, like you said, he wanted to. But the thing was, he like he does all his fighters. He forced Pacquiao to take a steroid test. Pacquiao refused. Because that was a huge controversy. Because Pacquiao went from strawweight, like shrimp, from skinny. He went to strawweight to bantamweight within a matter of 2 years. And that's like almost a 60, 70 pound difference. Yeah. And like, he went from skinny, shrimpy, tiny dude that's barely, standing on his legs to now he's bulky, he's withstanding body punches, he's taking all 12 rounds, he's going crazy. And it was a big controversy because like, is this dude juicing? Because it's sometimes a thing with a lot of foreign fighters, like Cuban fighters and different Asian fighters, that they juice, but they use their own in their own country.
But do they not do testing in boxing?
Not like, that's the thing. Floyd Mayweather, with all his fighters, he's like, I'm going to take my test, and you can take the same. Like, we have to have, there's certain rules in the contract. And he's like,
right, and he wanted him to take Floyd's test.
Yeah, because, it's the regular, whatever, I think Vegas testing.
What I'm pretty sure, though, was that Pacquiao had already taken his test.
With the commission.
Commission, exactly, which is all that he's required to do.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, the commission tests are a joke. There's been people that have been beating commission tests for so many years. And it's because, okay, if I'm a millionaire fighter and they tell me, hey, your test is on March 13th and you have this amount of time, like they're telling me back in fucking December, okay, you signed up for the fight, your test is March 13th. Okay, I'm going to juice until March 1st, and I'm going to piss clean by March 13th. It's a joke. So it's like Mayweather's like, okay, you're going to take this test, and it's a blood test, and we're going to make sure that you're not fucking cheating. And a whole bunch of other fighters agreed to it. So it's kind of fishy that Pacquiao all of a sudden is scared of needles. His words. He's scared of needles, and he doesn't want to take this test.
He did say that.
So, I mean, it was just like Mayweather tried to set up the fight because it would have been a huge fucking fight. It would have been a huge money fight. Right after Mayweather dusted Hatton up, and then Pacquiao dusted Hatton up, it would have been a huge fight right then and there, but it just never came through.
What I didn't like, though, and this is where I also lost respect for Floyd. I mean, I didn't really lose it. Again, I could care less for Floyd. Yeah. I respect him, but I could care less of his. I just don't like his style. Yeah. I'm all for great defense, but you gotta have some offense. And I think in his latter career, he had no offense. He did enough to win points.
Yeah, he won points.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was, how can I get these points here? Where can I beat him here? Because he's never gonna touch me. So really, all I gotta do is show I can hit
Exactly.
10 jabs that don't do anything. 10 jabs that hit a round, I'm gonna win.
You see his
So-
KO and win ratio.
Yeah.
Bro?
I mean, yeah.
And he's not a power. And I'm not asking him to be a power fighter. It wasn't exciting. Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, yeah, like for me, it was like you said, I've been watching boxing my whole life. So to me, it was like almost watching, like, I could compare it to watching like the Splash Brothers for the first time. like when they blew up in 15, 16, like, okay, here's these dudes that are taking 4 seconds of possession. They're not really taking many fouls. They're shooting from way back with no defense. Nobody's really guarding them. That fucking elevator play where they just come up and they just pass it to whoever. They're shooting 25, 33s a game. You know, like, people were mad. They were like, okay, you don't take it to the rim. They're calling Steph Curry, like, weak and soft and all that. But he's like, fuck it, I'm breaking records. Like, I'm shooting as many 3-pointers per game. That's what, like, he changed the game almost. That's why I like look at Floyd Mayweather like, okay, this dude is fighting people that train their whole lives to hit people. And he's making it so that they can't hit him at all. He's making them look stupid, especially like about the Canelo fight. Like the Canelo fight, Canelo has never looked that bad in his career. You can look at fights before and after. He's never looked that bad in his career. Floyd Mayweather had him running into the ropes, like hitting ghosts. Like to me, it's just an art form. And
It is. It's
like,
just, but it's also to me.
yeah,
like,
and I can
for
see why for
boxing,
you it's like it's
and
not
like
entertaining.
again, and it was more so, and it also comes with the fans. Like I think the Mayweather fans are so annoying. Like he's like, no, to me, he's probably the greatest defensive fighter of all time.
All the time. Yeah.
But the greatest total boxer, I don't think so.
I mean,
and
it's
it
an
comes
argument. It's an argument.
It
because
is.
like,
It is an argument, but it's
because-
like I get the record, I get what he's done, and this is why again I don't really care for boxing because it comes down to he was just, he understood boxing and he perfected it.
Yeah.
Of how boxing works, he knows how the judges works. He knows all that. Great, but to me, if like I want to watch something entertaining, his fights weren't really entertaining.
I feel you. I mean,
And so
like,
that's why.
it's
And
just
again,
you watch
and
boxing
it's
for different things
boxing.
to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And-
And just watch it for different reasons.
Yeah, and for me, like that's why I rather watch UFC because I know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get someone who's really gonna bust their ass both ways. Somebody gets knocked out, great. If not, I know I'm gonna get a fight though. Because
Yeah.
you're forced to fight.
Yeah.
In boxing, you're not forced to fight. In boxing, you're forced to
Win points.
win points. And because you've seen even the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, both fighters, it was just like, all right, how can we get out of here without hurting each other?
Right.
Or how can we get out of here with least damage?
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta make it to the fight to get this money.
Right.
And that's what it felt like watching
Who
them.
can touch each other? Who can touch the other? Do more.
Yeah.
Pause. But
Yeah.
I mean, and that's how it is. And you could see, like you said, when that shift mainly came from Mayweather having that huge left hand injury. Like that's why Mayweather started fighting the way he did, because when he started looking for the money or whatever, is because like he was like, okay, my left hand is really hurt. Like I can't get into no battle slug war with these people because like what the hell what's that sound?
Oh, allergies.
Grunting.
Oh.
But he's just like, that's why he started fighting the way he did, where he kept his hand down, he used the Mayweather shoulder, because that left hand, he can't really put too much behind that left hand because it was fragile. So that's why, another reason why I'm just like, yo, this dude is like, tailor-made his game to suit him, but whatever, we can have a whole boxing podcast another day. I feel like there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
so.
about boxing, we can have a whole ass.
Yeah, that could be have a whole day's worth of different fighters having.
But that one, I just, like again, that for boxing, I just watch for entertainment because results, like what you see on paper, doesn't really reflect.
That is so true.
And that's why I could care less about. And that's why I'll never give my money to boxing.
You can look at a boxer's record. It can be like 41-7, for example.
And they
But-
fought 2 people off the street. And they call it a professional.
Well, that's one, but also all the titles they fought with. One, they could have been in 3 different divisions, and they might have won like 3 different titles for each of the divisions. So it's about also holding titles. Like you don't know.
You challenge yourself. That
No, bro, Cotto.
Yeah.
Cotto did that. He I think it was
four different
4 different championships in different divisions. So like
So Margarito
like
did
his
that.
record isn't like lucrative. Like oh my gosh,
So
you know.
that's
his record not lucrative, but it's the fact that he challenged himself to
Yeah.
okay, great. I'm smashing people here. I'm a champion here. I'm gonna move up in weight, challenge
Exactly.
myself, and
Yeah.
still dominate.
And went down, and so that's the thing about boxing.
That Seabass people came and ruined his career. Get it, Seabass.
All-Star Weekend. We can finally talk about that.
All-Star weekend.
How you
What
feel
y'all
about-
want to? Y'all want to?
Hey,
What
yeah,
y'all want to start
I'm
off?
gonna let Omar. I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
All I have to say is I hate Trae Young. So if you're a Trae Young fan,
Why do you hate Trae Young?
Why?
bro,
Because he can shoot that bitch.
he can. I'm
Just like Steph.
And
that
all
shit
your
hurts, bro.
gripes
That
for
shit
Trae Young, like 80% of your gripes for Trae Young is gonna be the same gripes that people have with Steph Curry.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it really the same game?
Like, but that last 20% is gonna
Except they're
be.
looking for
That last
favorites.
20% is gonna be okay. He looks for too many fouls, but that to me is like okay.
Way too many.
No, I don't really
Steph
compare
is
him to
like
Steph.
that.
I compare him more to James Harden. Like,
Yeah.
because the reality of it is, the thing is, this is the biggest difference between Steph and what y'all compare to Trae Young to James Harden. Steph will get you 40 in 15 shots,
Yeah.
17 shots.
Right.
You
Trae
look at
Young's
his stat
jacking
line,
up,
like,
yeah.
bro, he's honestly shooting like Carmelo and Harden when they're like point
Yeah.
chasing.
Yep.
Like, bro, when you're averaging over 20 shots a game, and half of them from three, and you shoot good from three, you're gonna average good points.
Yeah.
And not to take anything away from Trae Young.
Yeah, let's
But-
not go down that
no,
road because you know how I feel about Melo.
Oh, but you're not even
no,
talking
no,
about
no,
Melo.
but hey, we have
Oh, wait,
we
hold
have
on,
a
hold on,
GOAT resting in peace right now that did the same thing.
Time out. Before we get into
No
that,
shit. No.
Obed is now a member of the New York Knicks family. You know what I'm saying?
New York-
Big orange and
The
blue.
Knickerbockers.
Yes,
We
sir.
got
The
the
Knickerbockers.
I'm gonna need you to
Knickerbocker
put that-
family.
I'm gonna need you to put
Fuck the
that.
haters, man. We on the rise. You know
On
what
the
I'm
rise.
saying?
Hey, listen. In my tenure, my first day when we got Steve Mills out,
Yes,
my
sir.
first
Yes,
day
sir.
we got him out.
So, hey, man.
How many
You got some
decades-
picks for Morris?
How many decades have been? Since y'all been saying in the comment?
Okay,
3,
so
4.
what happened each time we came up?
3, 4.
What happened? No, Ed, tell me.
When's the last time y'all won something?
What happened
Yeah,
every
tell
time
me
we
when's the
came
last time
up?
y'all won
Bro, Ed don't even got a team though.
When's the,
He-
I'm a
we-
Lakers fan. I
he-
said
we
that.
can't-
He a Players fan.
No, I'm a Lakers fan.
We are the New York
Knicks.
Knicks.
We are the New York Knicks.
Knicks.
Hey.
All right.
We are the New York
But nah,
Knicks.
every time we come up, we had to go through the big three in Miami. We had to go through fucking Jordan. When we got hoed, we can look at those games in the 90s, and we got hoed by the refs because Jordan was paying off refs. It's on paper. We can see
Nah,
it.
bro. And
We got hold.
aside from MJ, bro, we got hold by the refs in the finals against
Exactly.
the Rockets.
Exactly. So,
So
every time we come
again,
up, we get
all I
hoed.
hear is a bunch of excuses y'all want shit.
Okay, but why don't y'all have this smoke for like the Nets or the fucking
I don't care about the Knicks.
Magic?
The Knicks fans are annoying as fuck.
So
Y'all
we're
say this
fucking
shit
Nets
every single
fans.
year. Oh, this is their year. We're gonna
So
win
we're supposed to
something
hate our team?
and don't make the fucking playoffs.
So we're supposed to hate our team and say we're
no,
never
but
going to be good?
don't be saying you're gonna make the damn playoffs. Y'all won't make it. You win 15
When
games.
did I say that?
Not you. I'm just saying other Knicks fans.
So why you had smoke with me?
I'm not hating on you.
He's
Okay.
just generalizing like.
I'm just saying
every-
all Knicks fans. Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs. Win 15 games
Lakers fans are annoying.
because we win.
Fuck.
Oh.
Bro,
Apologize.
see, I'm not
What
getting into
happened
that.
last 5
Listen,
years?
I'm not getting
Last
into
6
that.
We were ass.
All right, I'm not getting into that because
That's it.
I just became a Knicks fan. So just like Eddie just became a Lakers fan,
Ooh.
Whoa.
he ain't seen no championship
2 years.
either. 2 years.
For the past 2 years.
And how many championships you seen?
None.
Okay
They
then.
have to play
All right, so we in the same boat.
We on the same boat.
We
We're the better team.
Hey, I've been in my whole life.
He
so I
could
understand.
have been a Heat fan and claimed 2, or actually 3, to be honest.
What?
He
It's
could have been a
LeBron
Heat fan because.
Oh yeah, but
You
I
could-
don't really care about that.
But
I just care
anyways,
about LeBron.
All-Star Weekend. Back to All-Star Weekend. Trae Young. What was the argument about Trae
Oh,
Young?
Trae-
Trae Young. I want to see.
oh.
I'm pulling up his stats right now.
Yeah.
He's averaging 34 rebounds and 9 assists.
Okay. Now wait, let me see something.
34
points.
rebounds. Oh, 30 points.
30
Oh,
points, 4
4
rebounds,
rebounds,
and
9
9
assists.
assists.
I heard
Which is
30,
those are
34.
great numbers. I can't look.
My bad.
30 is
Trae Young.
crazy.
Trae Young, like it's just like there's just something about that bitch ass motherfucker that
Oh
just
my
annoys
god.
the
What,
fuck out of
what
me, bro.
is it?
First of all, he's got to shave off his hair. Start off with
Okay,
that.
Omar. Not about appearance. This is not a fucking appearance fucking podcast.
Alright, no.
What is it
like,
on his game that you
alright.
don't like?
All right, he does foul chase like a bitch. Like I'm talking about, he does his little fucking screen where he comes around John Collins, because John Collins is a beast. I gotta give that man his props. Comes around John Collins right here, drives towards the hoop, stops, makes the defender just go from behind, and that's it. Free throw. It's every game, bro. Every game.
Hey, I
Goes
mean,
around the screen, boom, bro. Every.
What, do you hate James Harden?
You know why I don't hate James Harden?
No, I don't. Why do you don't?
Because he does not affect my team directly.
oh, okay.
And it's
Okay.
and it's the same way like with Steph Curry. You know how you mentioned Steph Curry? Oh, he plays same style. I've never really had a thing for Steph Curry. Like
Because he was on the other side.
yeah, he's on the West. So like, bro, when Trae Young plays the Knicks, bro, that shit is
I know, I understand. He's annoying to watch when he's on the other team. When he's beating your team, it's hard to watch.
But no,
and also,
No.
for
But
arguing
I
for
think
the,
this is where I can't find the.
but no offense,
what I'm
Omar,
trying to-
you just hate anybody that does great against your team. You hated LeBron for years because they always knocked him out. Now you hate Trae Young because he be foul chasing, I guess.
No, because you remember that the one oh no, not really. No, you remember that one time I was rooting for the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals and they got the job done.
Time out.
with D12.
What did you just say?
You said
You were
I hated
rooting for the
LeBron.
Magic. Oh, the Magic.
And then the Magic.
Well, that's because you were a Magic's fan.
Yeah, I was. But for that time period.
He was a Magic's fan for like a solid 5 years.
My
Bro,
thing
no,
on Trae
he's
Young
not.
is
And then
5
Carmelo
years.
came, and then that's when he was like, "Oh, I'm about the Knicks." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I understand you're a Knicks fan, but that's not lying to the people. You were a Magic
Bro,
fan."
I was a Magic fan for like 2 years, bro.
I mean,
It was
Man,
really
his whole room
So-
was damn Magic.
So right now,
Bro.
he's averaging 35 minutes a game
mhm,
and 21 field goal attempts
mhm.
with 10 free throw attempts per game.
So he's getting around 5 fouls a game.
Correct. Which is not crazy, but then watch. I don't know what the league average is on free throws per
Yeah,
game.
no.
But like, and it's not even Trae Young's fault. It's the way the NBA set up, and I think they gotta reevaluate the rules. Kind of like in football, where you can't play defense. Like it's so hard to play defense because the
And that's
Yeah,
why
the
people-
player-
protecting the players.
That's why people
Protecting
are looking
the
at
players.
the XFL now.
is subjective of how they get hit. It's too subjective where one hit could be legal, one can be not, and protecting blah blah blah. And I think it's the same thing in NBA. Like it's kind of ridiculous how Trae Young can come off the screen, jump into you, shoot the three,
Yeah,
Foul.
I mean, yeah, like you said.
and I don't blame him for it because shit. I mean,
If it's working.
if it's working,
It's
should
an
continue
advantage.
doing it. But it's just not like
good for basketball.
I don't think it's good for basketball because then how are you supposed to play defense?
Yeah, and I mean, okay, I feel like my thing on Trae Young is both sides aren't wrong. Like, yes, he does play a foul-heavy game.
And he don't play defense at all. That's the other thing.
Yeah, he doesn't play any defense.
Yeah.
He has the best offensive plus minus in NBA,
And
but
the
he has the
worst.
worst defensive one. So I don't know last time we've seen that, but
But
Till
I
this
probably-
day.
and the other thing is, with Trae Young and a lot of players actually in the NBA, is I don't really put too much emphasis on their points per game and stuff like that. Because the reality of it is,
they're the worst team in NBA.
well,
Yeah.
not even that, but that goes into it. But I guarantee one or two players on every team in the NBA can average 30 if they did what Trae Young does.
Think so?
I think so. At least, maybe not every team, but Harden could do it. Obviously, he does it. Westbrook could do it.
LeBron could do it.
LeBron could do it.
PG.
Kawhi, AD. So when you're getting those type of minutes and your team sucks, I think a lot of people can do it. So I think
Yeah.
it's not that he's not deserving or anything, but I think it's overhyped.
Yeah.
So stats it's really a stat padding age. And like Jamari said, they're the worst team in the NBA. They suck.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, they still suck. And what is that doing for them? Yeah, he can win you a couple
Suck.
games, but the way he plays basketball is not winning basketball.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
and that's the thing. Like I was saying.
Like Luka, I don't even want to get Omar started, but the way Luka plays basketball,
Yeah, that's winning
that's
basketball.
winning basketball. The Mavericks,
God, I thought he was gonna go.
no, the Mavericks suck. Mavericks is you look at their team. Besides him and Porzingis, they suck.
Yeah.
Like they're really bad.
They
Yeah.
do have a bunch of scrubs on.
And somehow, he's not averaging 30, but he's averaging double assists and rebounds, and it's just like
Are you looking
amazing.
at any free throws?
Huh?
I think
How'd
Luka's
you
averaging
look that
like 28, 8, and 9.
Yeah, he's averaging like 28, 9, and like, yeah. But no, my thing with Trae Young is I feel like both sides are right. Like, yes, he is on the come up. He's obviously going to be there. He's here to stay.
He's gonna be there.
He's here to stay. He's a future All-Star, already an All-Star in the second year. Like, you can't take that away from him. But again, he is foul chasing. He is playing. He's playing the NBA game right now. He's playing into the refs. He's playing to the line, which is, we've seen works from different players. I want to say it started with the LeBron and Kobe era of like, okay,
But
yes, we're gonna get to the rack. We're gonna make sure that we get the foul calls. We're gonna put up a lot of shots. But
yeah, but that's different.
I know it's different. It's different, but it's from the same vein. That's what I'm saying. It started
Yeah,
there.
yeah, but
Yeah, it's just it's exaggerated now.
It's
It's on a different
exactly.
level now.
And I think the biggest thing for him is he willing to Is he willing to be okay? Because listen, let's be honest. He cannot be the best player on your team for you to win the championship.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
I think John Collins.
I think it's too early to tell.
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think when's the last time a point guard under 6'3" was the best player on your team that won a championship besides Steph Curry.
Won championship under 6'3", best player on the team.
Ooh.
I mean that's hard criteria though.
That's the criteria he falls in. That's why I don't think he'll be in the best. I don't think he can win the
But I mean
championship.
that's why it's hard criteria because we haven't seen that many like actual like dominant. I mean outside of CP3, where I mean CP3 had injury. He was
Okay,
never
best
played,
player or just
and he was
best
on bad
point
teams.
guard in general besides Magic
Okay,
Johnson.
so when point guard was the best player. Okay, so you say except Magic Johnson
Because
except
he's
Steph Curry.
6'7"
6'9" actually.
or 6'9".
I mean, yeah, okay.
That's what I'm
Except
saying.
Stephen Curry. Okay, well, Westbrook was right there, had the Warriors down 3-1. He would have been next up. I mean,
He was definitely not the best player on that team though.
obviously not, but
Who?
I mean,
That's
he
what
put
I'm
the best in
saying.
numbers.
No,
okay,
no,
okay,
that's
okay.
what I'm-
D-Wade, if you want to say point guard, he played point guard that year for the Heat.
He did distribute. He,
Oh,
like the
six?
game flew
Yeah,
through
and he
D-Wade.
went crazy. And he was obviously by far the best player on the team. I mean, he had washed Shaq, but I mean, we still averaged double-double, but.
Okay, I'll give you D-Wade.
I'm about to say it just depends on talent. I can see what you're saying though,
But
but
I just don't
he's
think-
not gonna push you. He's not gonna take you to the next level
Right.
by himself. That's just Trae Young. That's because he's like his game isn't suited to take him to the next level. Like even with the
That's what
Warriors.
I'm saying. That's my whole point. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you can't be 6'3" and.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay,
not what I'm saying. I'm
okay.
saying Trae Young cannot be the best player on your team to win a championship.
I feel you because even with the Warriors, the 15-16 Warriors, they like we just talked about, they went crazy, like historic year, but it took K-Love and Kyrie getting injured, and LeBron still took them to 6. So.
Right, and that's why to me I really don't even count it. I mean, I do count it, but
Obviously, it's a
he
ring,
didn't. But he
yeah.
didn't win. Like Curry didn't even win the MVP.
Iguodala did. Right.
Iguodala did. So that goes down to my point, and that's why I think that I don't think Trae Young can. One, his ability to take you to a championship by himself, or be the main guy, and two, I don't think even if he wasn't the main guy, I don't think he cannot be not the main guy.
Yeah.
Like Curry, that man don't care. Like he literally don't care. This man's chilling, got 3 rings.
Right. Yeah.
He's okay with being like, all right, shit, tonight, Clay go for 60. KD go, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously that's a luxury to have. You say you can KD.
Yeah.
But even before KD, it was Clay, all right, shit, Clay's turn. You know,
Draymond at
Draymond,
the
you want
time.
to go for 25? Go for 25.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
and that was his personality. I don't think Trae Young will ever be like that, and that's why. And I'm not hating on him. It's just I wish the game was different a little bit, or they just really put more clarification on that foul.
Yeah.
Because it kind of kills it when you go to the foul line 25 times in a game.
Yeah.
Him, Harden.
Yeah. No, of course. All-Star weekend. I guess we can. I mean, 3-point contest and dunk contest. I mean, we can talk about the dunk contest. 3-point contest is kind of whatever. It was cool to watch, but I don't really care about it.
Buddy Hield won, right?
Yeah, Buddy Hield won.
Buddy Hield got to get out of Sacramento.
My Bahamian brother, you know what I'm saying? Buddy Bucket, straight from Freeport.
First off, with the All-Star, I want to say Brad Beal, biggest snub.
Huh?
Brad Beal, the biggest snub in a long time.
You didn't get in.
Yeah.
Oh, in the All-Star game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not
yeah.
making the All-Star team.
Not making.
Who's he gonna beat out?
Who was on that team? I don't know who was on the East team.
On the East team, it was
But he was averaging 29 a game.
on the shitty ass Wizards. The
Trae
same,
Young,
the same thing is. Oh, wait,
exactly. That's my whole point. Trae Young made it,
I mean, yeah, Trae Young made it, but it's like okay.
but it's what? It's the same thing. That's my point.
They're
Exactly.
both guards.
I mean, okay. Let's look at the team. Let's look at the team.
All right, so we got
It-
your other team.
And Trae Young made it in off of. Didn't he make it in off of an injury?
No. That was on the West.
That was Booker.
That was Booker.
I forgot.
So one, they had similar stats.
Who's averaging more points than Trae Young and Beal?
All right, here are the teams right here.
So
Obviously, you're gonna have to do yourself the
yeah.
West and East, so.
I mean,
Kemba Walker, bro. Really?
they're winning.
That is true.
Celtics are like one of the best teams in the East.
Okay, and so, but my
Kyle
point is,
Lowry.
Trey
Oh,
Young.
yeah.
The
Bro,
Raptors are winning.
No, bro.
You
but-
have to take the winning teams into consideration.
So why is Trey Young there? They're the worst team. They had the same. They had similar stats.
Because he's averaging fucking 30.
And so
Bro,
was Brad
Brad Beal's
Beal.
near
And
the
they had
30.
better team. And they had better. There at the time, the Wizards were like,
Are
all right, a
better,
couple
yeah.
games down
They
from
are better.
playoffs. So that's my point. That's why it's like, all right, really? I get you saying they both suck. But once teams actually compete to maybe make the playoffs.
And Brad Beal's been in the league for a minute, and this is how he gets treated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you.
But look. I mean, we could just look at stats. Ben Simmons, not even 20.
No, Ben Simmons shouldn't have been there, in my opinion. But I can see why.
Jimmy Butler? Okay, there's a forward, so whatever. But it's really
Jimmy
based off
Butler,
the
Jimmy Butler gotta be there.
I feel like he missed a lot of games though.
I mean,
He missed damn near 10 games.
That's true.
He missed. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's be real. Like, he did damn near miss 10 games, and he's averaging 20.
It's because there's no Wizards fans.
There really is. That's what it comes down to.
And I mean, Trae Young is, and it also goes into All-Star fan votes. I mean, Trae Young, I think, was like top 3 in fan voting.
Mm-hmm.
So was fucking Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso was like top 5.
But Brad Beal needs to get the hell out of there.
yeah,
But no. I don't feel sorry for Brad Beal at all. Go Gators. I fought with Brad Beal. I don't feel sorry for him. You wanted that.
Yeah, he did. He signed the contract.
You signed You saw the shitty ass Wizards. You saw Wall go down, and you signed a 4-year
No, I don't feel
deal.
bad for him, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna say you gotta get out there because obviously he wants that. He wants that. He wants to be on a shitty team. He wants it to where every night he's coming out and he gets the ball whenever he wants to, puts up as many shots as he wants, and the coach can't tell him shit because he's that nigga and you can't piss him off. You got that.
there's nothing else to do.
I mean, yeah. And at this point, he's like, okay, cool. I can collect this big old bag.
Well, he was
maybe
mad,
get
though.
traded.
He's getting mad now.
I don't give a fuck if he gets mad. Shouldn't have signed.
Anybody got
What you
any
mean? Miss out on $200
On John
million?
Wall. John Wall. I mean, the Wizards have no pressure. John Wall has no pressure to come back. He has no pressure to come back because they're like, we suck. Take as much time as you want. Sit on that huge ass bag you just signed for.
Yep.
And come back whenever because Beal's not going anywhere. He just signed. You have no pressure to come back. So John Wall's like, I'm gonna take maybe this whole season off, and then maybe come back next season, have a big old return season, and we'll see what he does then. I don't know how long he's gonna do.
Wizards are never gonna do shit.
I mean, okay, if John Wall comes back and he's near All-Star level, Bradley Beal keeps performing like how he is.
But he's not. That's the problem. They don't know how to play together well.
You don't think so? I think they'll figure
That's
it
why
out.
Bradley Beal's averaging damn 50 a game in the past 10 games because he has no one else to compete with.
I think if John Wall comes back and they can figure it out, and they can figure it out and like
It's a big if.
coexist, and then somehow wing some sort of nice forward or a big. I mean,
Yeah.
Washington is a decent sized market. They could definitely make a run in the East especially.
Isn't it crazy that the Wizards, like,
Bro,
the
honestly,
capital of the United States, ass.
I don't think the East is gonna do shit this year.
You don't think so?
Really?
The only team,
Bucks,
I mean,
they
the
got
only
it.
team with a chance is the Bucks, and the Bucks have the best record.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
about to
they
win
do,
70
but I don't even know
games.
if they'll make it to the championship again.
Like, who's gonna stop them?
The Heat.
I don't know.
The Heat will give them trouble.
But
I still
again-
got the Bucks in 6.
But they were talking. I mean, I was just listening to like just the sports radio. They brought up a good point. Like Giannis played great, and even in the All Star game. And this is the difference between Kawhi and Giannis. Like, and so in the All Star game, we get this All Star game. The fourth quarter got competitive.
Mm-hmm. Which, okay, on to the All-Star game. Probably my favorite All-Star game I've ever watched. Probably, technically, off the fourth quarter alone, like probably the best in terms of competition. In
It felt like a
All-Star season.
finals.
Yeah, it felt like I was watching some real life
I like
shit. But anyway, go ahead.
Outside, I mean, Giannis' defense was great, but guess what happened in the fourth quarter? They started clogging up the paint.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do shit. The same shit that happened to him last year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, we get it. It's an All-Star. Maybe we're looking too deep into it. But once again, it's Giannis showing like, yeah, you're dominant, but once all the marbles are on the table, he's not really showing up. And it's not that he can. It's just like
Too damn big.
And also, I mean, you could. Another thing is, last night the Lakers and Celtics played, and if those Celtics show up in the playoffs, like it's gonna get real scary. Like,
right.
Because you look at their perimeter, you have Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, who's having a career year.
Jason Tatum.
Gordon Hayward is back.
Yeah.
He's like back healthy, like he's scoring. And I mean, at that point, then you have Marcus Smart coming off the bench, and like when you have a perimeter like
role
that,
players too.
all 4 players, shooters, can create their own bucket and defend.
Who's their center?
Shitty. That's the only thing about
That's
it.
the problem. They have no-
Tyson
should've
and
kept-
Canner.
Should have kept Al Horford.
Should have kept him in.
I mean, they could have kept Al Horford, but what the fuck is he doing in Philly?
Now, but okay, how do you have? That's the thing. That's another thing. Brent Brown got to go.
Yeah, I mean, the Philadelphia
Brent
Sixers,
Brown has got to go
if the
because
Sixers-
there's no way you drop off from what Al Horford did last year.
injuries. I mean, it's injury because like the way I can see Brett Brown's a shitty coach, and when they have Al Horford by himself on an island with a player that should not stand a chance with him in the post, he's not Al Horford to pass. Like you can
Bro,
tell.
but
his
it
game
was.
is catching
There's
up.
no way a 1 year difference like that. Dog.
I mean, even last year, when the
In the
only time
playoffs,
Al
he-
Horford showed up was being, it was like, okay.
When it mattered.
Exactly, when he mattered. But
That's all
it's
that
like,
matters. That's what Iggy does, right? Iggy
I mean,
was
yeah,
off,
yeah.
and Iggy clamps up. That's
Yeah.
literally the only reason the Miami Heat got him.
The only well, in the shot, but the only reason Sixers got Horford is because he's the only dude that could guard Embiid.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, yeah, it just depends. I just feel like right now it's showing Horford's decline, and I just don't want him to be out there and get hurt. But, and then he can't show up for the playoffs. Love Al Horford, but I just feel like he's not Al Horford to pass, obviously. But,
older in age,
obviously, yeah, just naturally. But, back to what you're saying, I mean, the team, the East,
I don't know.
no team is beating the Clippers or the Lakers if they make it.
That's what I'm saying.
I just
No one's-
can't.
Yeah.
I just,
So who you got? Who's right now? Who's the favorite? Lakers still.
So when champion? Lakers.
Okay, Lakers still.
Lakers.
Okay.
Like Lakers.
Okay.
Lakers. I have Lakers all the way.
Lakers
Because-
in what?
Lakers in
That's gonna be
5-6.
It's gonna
5-6.
be
It's not gonna go 7.
I want to see the
So what happens if
the
Kawhi
twins
shows up?
playing each other.
If Kawhi shows up, right?
Like, because
Think
the
about
thing is,
PG
I honestly don't think that's why I'm not worried about PG right now. I think the constant is not like PG's not gonna do nothing, but the constant is that I think Kawhi will show up and show out
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like he has been.
That's great.
And people talk about team, they're not, the continuity ain't there, bro. But I don't know, bro. I just feel like something about the playoffs.
I'll have to give you a stat right now. They're 17-5 with PG and Kawhi on the floor starting.
That's fucking beautiful. Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis, and when you have bum,
Zubac.
horrible Montrezl Harrell is a bum. I don't like can I?
I mean, I
Montrezl
can't- I
Harrell
can't-
sucks.
Can't say all
I don't.
that.
No.
Yeah,
Montrezl. What is his game? What is his game? Describe Montrezl Harrell game right now.
He's
He's
like
He
a,
doesn't shoot.
He's a scrapper.
scrapper.
It's like a
He's
Draymond
scrapper, right?
Green.
Scrapper. Like don't ever compare him to Draymond Green
He's
ever.
good
again.
on defense, and he's averaging 20 points.
Montrezl Harrell cannot shoot. He's 6'8" undersized. Okay, so when you talk about Montrezl Harrell and he's a gritty, grindy dude in the paint, he's 6'8". Anthony Davis is eating his food. Joel Embiid is eating his food. Giannis is eating his food.
I agree
LeBron
with
is
that.
eating his food.
I agree
Like
with that.
when you're an
But-
undersized
but-
nigga, you
I
can't
agree.
shoot. What the fuck is your role?
But-
PJ Tucker without a shot. What is PJ Tucker doing without a shot? Not a damn thing. PJ Tucker can guard bigs, yes, and he's 6'8", yes, undersized, but he has a shot. That's why he's on the court. Montrezl Harrell's a bum that can't shoot. He can't
can play
shoot. He's
defense.
6'8".
But if he can play defense, then
I
he
can't
can.
say
If he
that.
can play defense, okay, that's cool. But when Anthony Davis is still averaging 30 and 10 on you,
He's averaging 20, bro.
19 points a game.
19 points, all in the paint off alley oops from literally Kawhi Leonard and PG as the best
Bro.
perimeter.
Bro,
Lou
all
Will, PG,
alley-
Kawhi
all
Leonard.
alley
No one's
oops,
worried
bro.
about
Not
Montrezl
even-
Harrell.
Not even Tyson Chandler was averaging 20 with
I don't give a
alley-oops.
fuck. But Tyson Chandler didn't have 3 perimeter beasts around him. When the teams are worried about guarding Lou Will, PG, and Kawhi Leonard, who are all Lou Will is technically kind of falling at the end of half his prime.
Yeah, but he can
PG
still
and Kawhi
show
is
up and throw 30
That's
drop 30 on
good.
there.
That's great. Exactly. You can still show
But
up and drop
the
30.
thing is,
When teams are worried about those 3, okay, yes, the alley-oop and the pick and roll bucket for Montrezl Harrell is gonna fall into his
so
hand.
who gonna guard Kawhi?
Who gonna guard Kawhi? I mean, in the playoffs and finals, it's gonna have to be LeBron.
You think LeBron gonna be able to make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked real tough. I'm just saying that's his only
No, and
downfall.
that's the thing,
And
that's the thing.
and that's not his fault. That's because his team sucks. They always been tired. What have all successful teams done to LeBron James? Make his ass chase.
That's true. But that's the thing. Now they have
Okay,
Lakers
fine.
looking
Who's
at.
gonna guard LeBron though? It can be Kawhi. It can be PG.
That's fucking beautiful. But they don't have a soul that can do anything with Anthony Davis.
But Anthony, like I said, Anthony, not that Anthony Davis can't. But what I told y'all a long time ago, Anthony Davis got to show me something. LeBron already showed it to me.
And Anthony Davis is eating this season.
Bro, he is, but that's great. I want to
Yes.
see what the playoffs. Giannis ate this season, last season, this season, he got shut down. Not saying that that's gonna happen to him, but I'm just saying Anthony Davis, and again, not that he hasn't shown me he can't, or that he won't, but he got to show me it. Like he got to. He has no excuse because LeBron's gonna be on lock. Not that it's gonna matter. He's still gonna get 25.
And in the playoffs,
But
he's
he-
25 and 10 easy.
Easy. LeBron's gonna, but he's gonna be on lock. Like there's gonna be someone on LeBron, maybe 2 people. So that means you being 7 foot or whatever he is,
He has to eat. I mean, yeah.
he has to. And if he doesn't, it's gonna come down on him. It's not gonna.
And then we look at the Clippers. If PG does what he usually does in that last 3 playoffs, ever since what was it 2012, 2013 when they in Indiana after he got hurt. I mean, what has he done in the playoffs since?
No, I agree.
So it's like if PG doesn't show up, then it's like okay, it's gonna be the Kawhi show. But even last year, if you look at it, the Raptors were low key like the deepest team in the league.
And so are the Clippers this year.
I
That's my whole point.
Rotation
That's the
is
reason I
trash,
say that.
though.
Huh?
Their big rotation is low key one of the worst.
Bro,
But
it
they're
really
still
don't matter
deep, though.
They're deep. They're deep.
But
Perimeter is
the
deep.
deep,
But I'm
the
saying
deep rotation. I mean, the big man rotation don't really matter. I feel like in this NBA.
I feel like it
Not-
does
not
because
as much.
What big? Okay, they had Siakam last year, and okay, they had who did the
Bro.
Warriors have?
the Warriors had
Nobody.
nobody.
No KD, no Klay Thompson.
But that's because they be shooting.
I mean, I'm not saying like they won championship. I'm just
Right,
saying
and I'm saying it was still hard for the Raptors to win that
yeah,
championship.
but that's because they were playing the Warriors, who all 5 dudes he put on the court could shoot.
Right,
Could shoot.
and that's
The Clippers can't do that.
besides Montrezl Harrell, all 4 dudes can shoot.
Zubac, Jermichael Green,
They're not gonna be on the court at the same time, bro.
they have to. Them niggas have to be on the court at some point. Montrezl Harrell, Zubac, and Jermichael Green, 2 out of those 3 have to be on the court at all times. Because I mean, you need to have somebody that's gonna guard AD, and all 3 of those dudes are gonna get left in the playoffs and the finals. They're going to get left gap. Like that's they're.
So you
they're
think
done.
just because the big man, that's why?
I not the only thing, but that's a huge part of why I feel like the Lakers are one of the biggest teams in the NBA. Like they come out with a lineup of LeBron, if they pick up Markieff, LeBron, Danny Green,
I don't
Markieff
think
Morris.
Marquise is that good.
And I got
No,
the
no,
rosters-
all he
I
has
got
to
the
do is-
rosters pulled up. So
All he has to do is play defense and hit a shot. LeBron, Danny Green, Markieff, AD, and Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. That's a huge fucking lineup. That's an average height of what, 6'8"?
Yeah, but offensively that lineup sucks.
I mean, offensively, all you got to do is space out. Danny Green's obviously a great postseason shooter. Marquise a postseason shooter. All you have when you have a 2-headed monster, LeBron and AD, that's damn near. When you talk about a combo, that's damn near perfect. There's no flaws in that. Both of them are gonna play defense. Both of them are gonna get rebounds. Both of them gonna shoot. Both
So
of them
no
gonna
excuses
finish.
for the Lakers to win.
I mean, no excuses, no.
No
Injury
excuses.
barring. I mean,
Barring
yeah,
injury barring,
they've been
okay.
my favorite.
So the Clippers win.
Favorite for the
What are
whole
you
year.
gonna tell me?
The Clippers gonna win? I mean, yeah. I just want to see how it happens. If it happens where Kawhi goes GOAT mode, goes MVP mode, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna average 40 in the fucking finals and carry, and PG does his shit, Lua does his shit, basketball. What else can I say?
Right. I just think that that's not far
Marcus
fetched.
Morris is coming off the bench too.
I mean, Marcus Morris coming off the bench, but
Bro, Marcus
Solid.
Morris is a walking bucket, like off the
Solid,
bench
bro,
for what
solid,
he is.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what my biggest thing is. Okay, the Lakers rotation comes out.
mm-hmm.
Clippers comes in.
Yeah,
Shamit,
3-point.
Shamit, Morris, Lou
Will.
Will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who do the Lakers got that's gonna match bucket for
And
bucket?
that's the X factor.
And that's my
Reggie
whole point. That's
Jackson.
why. Oh, and I mean, I don't know about Reggie Jackson.
Red Jackson is decent.
Yeah, but I don't know. I ain't seen him play really too much. So I can't really speak on him.
Mm-hmm.
But
Last thing
Reggie-
you've heard of, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, my point is like, bro, that's where the Clippers. And again, I think that Lakers are gonna forever be the favorite until the playoffs come because I think the Clippers gonna do some shit the Raptors did last year. Oh, Kawhi ain't played about half the season. Kawhi barely. He playing when he want to play.
Yeah.
There's really no home court advantage,
Mm-hmm.
and he don't really care for home court advantage. I think that if Kawhi comes in, regardless of what other people do, if Kawhi comes in and averages damn near 30, they will give the Lakers a run for their fucking money.
Obviously. I mean, yeah, they're definitely the obvious number 2 spot. It's the Lakers, it's the Clippers, and then that third spot is a toss-up. You could say the Bucks, you could say the Rockets maybe, you could say Denver maybe. Like, you could say different teams, but it's obvious Lakers, Clippers. And so, I mean, yeah, that's what the NBA is. It's going to be a matchup, but I feel like it's going to come down to, especially in the finals, and we've seen in the finals.
Man, the finals is the Western Conference Finals.
I mean, when it comes down to the Western Conference Finals in the playoffs, like we all seen, refs swallow their whistles. They don't blow. They don't call nothing. So it comes down to who can win on the rebound battle, who can win in the paint, and I feel like the Lakers by far better in the paint than the Clippers.
Now, what happens if a team gives the Lakers like a 6-game?
It's a good 6-game series, and
Twice.
like LeBron is an 80 or tired.
I don't think AD has no excuse to be tired. That's what I'm saying. AD, that's what I'm saying. LeBron already, to me, he's separate. If LeBron gets tired, that's expected.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't get tired, that's what will shock me the most.
Right.
Because this man's not slowing down, which I feel like he should. Not saying that he shouldn't play, but he should probably watch his minutes. Like, all right, bro,
Yeah.
we don't really need you here.
Mhm.
Like, and if they can't win without him, that's a problem.
Right.
Because the Clippers winning without Kawhi, and they're winning without.
That's why
PG.
AD's playing so much with the
And-
B team. Like he'll stay out with the B team and like play them because that's what they're gonna have to do in the
Yeah.
playoffs. AD's gonna have to play extended minutes, like 40, 45 minutes type shit.
And that's what I'm more worried about because when you get the B team and you can't get the ball into AD, like I think that's what's gonna be where the problem.
And
will
that's
lie.
where it's gonna come up to where
Because,
dudes
bro,
like
Pete
KCP.
Bev is going to be in, I don't even know
Bro,
who's y'all's point guard.
Huh?
Who's y'all's point guard?
Rondo,
Outside of
Caruso.
LeBron, I mean,
Bro, Patrick
KCP's
Beverly's
playing
gonna
point.
be in that ass. Whoever it is.
I feel bad for whoever the point guard
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
Patrick
Beverly,
Beverly.
or
Avery Bradley.
Avery.
Oh,
no,
God, Jesus.
not point guard.
Bro.
He's like shooting guard. Like
Jesus, Avery Bradley.
KCP's gonna be running. No, here's the thing. I've talked so much cash about KCP. He's been doing his shit for the last
He's been gotten better.
2-3 months. He's been doing his shit.
But when y'all see him in the playoff, goddamn KCP.
Yeah, no, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
That's what I feel is gonna happen. Again, LeBron's gonna do his shit. He gonna have 30 and 10
Yeah.
easy. AD gotta show me something, not just a stat game. He
Yeah.
gotta show me I can win the game.
Yeah.
Because guess what? People gonna guard LeBron.
Yeah.
AD's not proven like in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Not that it's his fault.
Well,
'cause
I mean,
he has a shitty
yeah.
team. But the thing is, if no one's gonna want the ball in LeBron's hands, they're gonna take their chances with the ball in AD's hands.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why I feel like he got to show me something. I don't care. He could score 10 points a game, but if them 10 points were 6 in the fourth quarter, it's going to be in a lot more.
I feel you. I mean,
That's what I mean with AD.
yeah,
And that's why.
and it's gonna come down to it. I feel like I just don't think the Clippers have an answer for AD, for real, outside of doubling. And at that point, it's like, okay, you have to look at KCP, you have to look at Kuzma, you have to look at Avery Bradley and all them to hit shots. And so I feel like Lakers really bought in on we're going to be the tallest team in the playoffs, bar none. I mean, Rockets just fucking got rid of their center. So we're going to be the tallest team in the playoffs, bar none. We're going to out-rebound everybody. We're going to try to play the best defense on everybody we can in the paint and on the perimeter.
You know what would be hell for the Lakers, I think? They get the Nuggets in a series.
They're gonna give
and
them problems.
if they get the Nuggets in a series before the Clippers.
Yeah, because they're young. They're going to go all for
First off, they're deep as hell.
Jokic,
Yeah.
bro, with
Yeah,
Davis,
yeah.
that's a good matchup.
Well,
Because
Joker's going to get his. And
yeah, he's gonna get
He's a
his.
grown-ass
both of them
man.
are going to
Yeah.
get there. So
Yeah. So
I don't think it's going to be gritty and grindy as you think. I think both of them going to play the perimeter.
they are. That's what I'm saying.
That's
They
the
got
thing.
their guards. They're like hella deep. They just don't have a star.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal
They-
Murray wants to be that star. Jokic
No.
wants to be that
So
star.
listen. So that's my take on it. So the Nuggets, they need a third shooter.
But they need
Because we
the
got-
Nuggets got Jimmy Butler. They're a different team.
Michael Porter Jr.
That's what I'm saying. They got Michael Porter Jr. and Bo
But he hasn't
for
come
next
out.
year.
He hasn't come out to like.
But he can average. He can
Yeah.
drop 20. Yeah.
And he's been in like the games that he came out and they've been playing him safe
Yeah,
because they don't
yeah.
want him to get hurt. But when the games he came out, he's looked like okay, this dude could be next up.
Yeah, he
So,
hasn't.
he's my favorite. Like he was one of my favorite dudes out of high school because he never played in college. Like when I saw him in high school, because it was like a phase where it was like Zion, then Mac McClung, then Trey Young, then a whole bunch of dudes that just like went viral. Mac McClung,
Georgetown.
shitty at Georgetown, like really shitty. But
Trash as fuck.
yeah, I mean he's
He's
been trying
also
to.
5'9".
Yeah, he's small as fuck. Like that's why I was like, I need to see what he does in college. He got to college, he's shitty. But it was just like a streak of viral players. And Michael Porter Jr. I was like, yo, this dude's the next KD. So I feel like if he comes out and he can actually do something next year, then Denver is gonna be scary in a couple years.
Gary Harris is all right.
Gary Harris is great. I love Gary Harris. I love Jamal Murray. I love the Nuggets team. I love them. Do I think they'll do something with the Lakers? I don't know. I just feel like their youth is gonna get to them.
No, I
Especially in
think.
the
But I'm
playoffs.
saying I think they could take him 6.
Yeah, and they'll
And
tire
if they
them out.
do take him 6, that's what I'm saying. Because Jokic is the one that's really the only person that can tire out AD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's bigger and he's stronger. As
Yeah.
in body size.
Yeah.
Also, his passing skills are way better than AD's.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
Bro, you look at
They about
this man.
they about this. I'd say they about the same.
I specify. I said it's passing.
See, AD is a 6'10" guard.
Yeah, that's the difference.
He's a 6'10" guard. Like he plays like a guard, but he's 6'10", so he's like, okay, cool, I can rebound, I can dunk on people because I'm 6'10". But yeah, I mean, yeah,
I'm rooting for the Clippers.
Obviously.
That's the new.
obviously.
But it's more so because like people go for the Lakers. Like I don't want to see.
you don't like loud fan bases,
No, I don't like obnoxious fan bases. Like
Damn.
but
so
you
you
come.
joined one?
Yeah, I'm about to say you come to
no,
Knicks.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm different though.
I
Let's be facts. I know we suck.
mean,
I mean, if anything, the Clippers have been the most annoying fan base this year.
But that's for you because you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. Like,
Nah,
I've always-
they've been loud though. They've
They've been
always
hell
loud.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They never
I
won
ain't
anything.
Anything is
Clippers
Clippers,
fans
Clippers,
exist.
Clippers. I'm about to say.
Yeah,
I-
I've never seen anything about
we
Clippers.
never seen them until
either.
this year.
I still haven't seen them. Like I don't see.
I still
shit
haven't
on-
seen him
I
either.
see
saw
a
them.
shitload of Clippers fans.
You know the
on
only
TV.
time I
Twitter,
get
that's
I
what
get
I've
my
seen.
Because
eyes laid
LeBron
on-
haters became Clippers fans.
That's every team though. Like just LeBron haters became Warriors fans.
Exactly. So that's why they're fucking annoying.
I don't know.
that's
I don't know about
that's
that.
why they're annoying because it's like okay, literally, it's all they
I just
all they
fuck
talk
with
about is LeBron
Kawhi
saying.
and Paul George.
No, yeah.
Paul George is one of my favorites before he got hurt, and then Kawhi's just like
Ever since San Antonio.
he's just like a cyborg. Like
Yeah.
San Antonio, to be honest, is the best, my favorite basketball team ever watched. Like the way they play, Popovich.
Yeah.
That's my favorite coach. But just seeing the way Kawhi is, that man just doesn't talk, and it's not that he's like I'm in beast mode, so I'm not gonna talk. It's just he don't talk. Like he's a weird dude. So watching him like that, and then just
Ball out.
dominating with no expression.
Thank you.
Salud.
Woo.
But anything else before
Yeah. No.
wrapping it up? Omar?
I'm good. Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. We are the Knicks.
Your
Hell yeah, man.
Orlando's trying to figure out what his damn NBA team is because
It was the Clippers, but
It was the Clippers,
he renounced his membership.
Nah, don't be a bitch ass Clipper. Don't be a bitch ass
Oh,
Clipper.
all right, bro. Don't join the Clippers after they win the championship.
That's not Orlando.
I'm just saying.
You should be a Dallas fan.
Denver fan, bro. I feel like you.
Fuck Denver, bro.
You should be
You
be a
say
big
you're
Dallas
ta-
fan.
I feel like Denver would be good for you.
Fuck
They're
Denver.
They're not super hyped right now. You can buy in right now.
Dallas.
In 2-3 years when they're dominant, you
Nah.
can be like, oh, I was
Be a
there for you.
Pelicans fan.
Ooh, that's
That
a good
too.
one too.
To New Orleans, good
New
for you.
Orleans.
I'm between Memphis,
Oh, Memphis is
New
fire.
Orleans,
I fuck with
and
Memphis.
the Pacers again.
There you go.
Again, bro, Dallas, come on, bro.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jeremy Lamb. Prayers up for him.
Oh, yeah.
He tore his ACL. He tore his
Damn, bro.
ACL in his
Pacers
left
can't
knee.
catch a break, bro.
Tore his meniscus in his left knee, and he got a bone fracture in his left knee.
First Paul
Tough.
George, Dan Oladipo,
And
now
Jeremy
Lamb.
Lamb. I mean Lamb, yeah, and he sunk both the free throws after the injury in too. So Warrior.
Kobe shit, go shit.
Yeah, but
Hey, 224 today. Shout out to Kobe, man.
oh yeah, shit.
Shout out to the Bryants.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bryants.
Facts.
But other than that, man, thank you for tuning in for this past year. And definitely more content's gonna be up.
Yeah, hell yeah.